Taxes negatively affect the total welfare of a country and lead to market failure. Tax on a good reduces consumer and producer surplus. The reduction in total surplus usually exceeds the revenue raised by the government. The fall of total surplus will result in deadweight loss. People are forced to consume and produce less. Would you like to see the best football players in the world in jail just because of too high tax rates? I guess not. So let me demonstrate with some practical examples how taxes have a negative effect on an economy's welfare. Now let me talk about the negative impact of high income tax on the French society. Many of France's wealthiest are fleeing abroad due to high income taxes. As the government introduced solidarity tax on wealth, which is a direct tax on French residents earning an excess of 1.3 million per year. In addition, taxes are destroying economic opportunity. They specifically can discourage work, saving, investment and innovation. The problem in France is the level of taxes, Jean-Philippe Desol said, a tax lawyer and fiscal advisor with over 30 years of experience in advising large family businesses. It's too difficult to start a company, too difficult to hire people, too difficult to fire people, he continues. The opportunity cost of strongly taxing the richest of France is very high. As taxes increase, incentives are distorted and in the long run leads to a reduction in the size of market, which will eventually reduce the tax revenue and sequentially the GDP of a nation, as there will be a reduction of final goods and services in a given period of time. Our second example shows how tariffs, which are taxes for imports and exports, reduce the overall level of trade. The production possibility frontier explains this aspect very well. The production possibilities frontier is a graph that shows the combinations of output that the economy can possibly produce given the available factors of production and the available production technology. If countries would charge high tariffs, that would disincentivize countries to import goods from abroad, as these tariffs will increase the price of the imports, leading to countries solely to focus on producing domestically, as it will be cheaper than importing. In that case, the production possibilities frontier would equal the consumption possibilities frontier. As a conclusion, economic gains are diminished without trades. On the other hand, low tariffs would encourage countries to have more imports and exports. As you can see at the second graph, the production possibility frontier rises. In addition, trade is desirable because it allows everyone to enjoy a greater quantity and variety of goods and services at a cheaper price. Thus, greater welfare is created. As an example, you can take the US and India. Both countries have big economies. India has climbed 16 places in the World Economic Forum competitive ranking. However, their tariffs are very different. US charges 1% overall, whereas India charges 13%. From this information, we can conclude that India's export will be heavily affected due to their tariff policy. In the end, India is missing the opportunity of exporting in higher quantities at a lower price, all because of taxes. So keep in mind, if you don't want Cristiano Ronaldo to win the Ballon d'Or, we have to avoid taxes.